So I have another screen here where I'll be able to see the YouTube comments and I'll
Okay.
monitor them there. So this is the
Awesome.
I know this is the moment where it's like, are we? Did it work? Did the technology
Oh, we're
work?
alive. It says
It,
that we're alive.
woohoo! So I'm looking on our Facebook. No, I'm looking on our YouTube now
Yes.
to make
Hello,
sure.
guys. We are so happy to welcome you here.
Yay! Let me make sure that it's really live. And one second, my dear. This happened before where I've started a whole podcast and then realized, yeah, it wasn't live. It wasn't actually live. Okay, we are live now. Perfect.
Oh, hello, dear friends. Happy New
Yay!
Year and Happy New podcast.
Yes. Happy New Year, friend. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you. Very happy about upcoming year and all the new projects. And how about you?
Yes, I'm doing so well. And I too am excited about the year. We can talk a little bit more about that for sure this hour. But I just want to start out by welcoming everyone to this episode. Today, we are very lucky to have my dear friend Taisa joining us all the way from Ukraine. We are going to kick off the new year talking about self love, self compassion, and empowerment. That is kind of our theme for the whole year here on SCBDU. And it's the perfect kickoff with having Taisa here telling us a little bit about her new course. Of course, of course, that's what we want to share.
Oh,
But we're also
sure.
going to spend this next hour learning different ways that we can feel more self compassion, more self love, and really move into our lives in a way that we feel empowered to make the changes that we may want to make or feel empowered to be the person that we want to be. So, a brief introduction of Taisa, and then I'm going to ask her to kind of expand on that. But you may know Taisa from some of her classes here on FCBDU. She's done several classes with us and a whole masterclass on creating and structuring performances with your groups. And so, for those of you that do a lot of online performances, I know that that was really well received. She has We've had so many conversations offline about coaching and empowerment. And so this conversation that we're going to have today and the classes that she's put together for you on FCBDU for this month have really come about from, I think we were talking maybe 2 years ago of this topic
Yes.
and about coaching and self-love and self-empowerment. And we were just clicking so well on this topic. And it was like, this is something everybody needs to know, regardless of if you're a dancer or not a dancer, just a human. I think that these topics that we're going to cover are so very important. So as we go through today, if you're joining us live and you're watching on YouTube, feel free to add any questions or comments in the comment section. I'll be checking on those. And then definitely we will be able to give you some resources by the end of the podcast and more ways that you can reach out to Taisa for things that you may want to expand with her on. So we'll definitely be doing that.
Very
So
welcome. Yes.
Taisa, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here, so honored to be here, and thank you for invitation, and thank you for doing this project together because I think that this topic is one of the definitely life changing for any kind of people, any kind of activities, any kind of professions, because we will talk about self-love, and this is how we said the main currency of our life, actually, because the main currency of our life, because whatever we do, whatever we long for, whatever we aim for, whether it is being a good dancer, being a good professional, or career growth, or growth of the income, actually the main point what we long for is a feeling a particular way. So there are outer goals like to achieve whatever, it can be relations, career, money, like popularity, And there are inner goals, is how I want to feel. And actually inner goals is the main ones, because we can achieve whatever, but if we don't feel good in all this, so it doesn't mean anything. And at the same time, people can have not that much but still be happy with themselves. So like the ultimate currency is this feeling of happiness. And actually this what this course is about, because you can't feel happy not loving yourself. It's actually not possible. It doesn't make any sense. So
Oh,
this is what we're going to talk about.
excellent. So that introduction already, I've already started taking notes. So this is definitely the an area that I'm very passionate about, and especially around the first of the year. As many of you know, this is like one of my favorite parts of the times of the year. So already I want to invite everybody that's listening to this podcast to grab a pen and paper, because you may want to be taking some notes as well. Yes. And then we'll be sharing lots of tips throughout the course, and even some exercises I know that Taisa has geared up for us. So you might want to take some notes. You
For
might
today. So by the end of this live, we're gonna make a very, very powerful, simple but very powerful exercise, a practice that will be definitely very, very cool for you. Maybe you have done already something like this before, but it's always very empowering and refreshing. So just stay with us for sure.
amazing. So, Thaisa, can you tell us a little bit? So, before we get into all the nitty gritty of it all, can you tell us a little bit about what inspired you to go in and get your coaching certificate from the International Coaching Union University? I know that there's a lot of people that are interested in coaching. I know I have some friends that have gone and gotten their coaching certificates and do coaching. But in our conversations, I just really love your approach to it. And of course, now you've incorporated it into helping dancers. And so I'm just really curious, like, what took you on that path of this is something that I want to learn and something that I want to now offer?
Yeah, thank you for this question. And I came to coaching as a client. So it was the beginning of 2019 probably. And I found myself that I had to start my festival in Kiev, and I couldn't start it, or maybe it was the end of 2018. So, and 2019, it should have started in May, and I was doing almost nothing, and all the deadlines started like to burn severely, and like, what should I do? Maybe I should go to some psychotherapist. And my friend, she said me, no, you should go to coach. I said, okay. So I went to coach, and actually I loved this approach so much. So and I had several coach sessions as a client. And after that, I decided that I need to do it by myself. So I need all these tools, definitely. So I want to be this person who can help people in this way. So it helped me so much what we like worked through in this coach session, and maybe it was like three of them, and it helped me really a lot. And it highlighted for me the reasons why I got stuck, because I was trying to solve these issues like on a doing level, but actually I had to start from my values and priorities and so on. So actually the problem, I would say, why it didn't work was on a higher level, and very often it happens like this. And so sometimes and most of the times when people got stuck, it's very complicated for person by oneself to recognize this point where you got stuck, because it's somewhere on a higher level. And so very often we really need an outer help for us to recognize this point where we got stuck, where we have this problem. So I loved it so much. So that is why I started to study coaching, got my international certificate. And while studying, I understood that actually I know so much from this, and I was implementing this in my running my dance school and my dance collective, like uh, because I was studying for myself psychology and also like this live experience and working with my girls. I already had a lot of this. So like studying for coach, like just incorporated it all together, and I love it so much. And after that, now I'm working with clients, mostly women from very different areas of life and very different professions. But definitely I started like, and one of my very special clients are dancers, because I know all these pains which we as dancers go through. But I can say why this topic arose. So because what I see with any types of clients, that self-love is a huge gap for most of the people, for most of the professions, expertise, gender, whatever. So there is a total lack of self-love and self-support, and this is my message to the world and to the dancers and to whoever is concerned.
Yes. I wrote something down that you said. That's beautiful. Thank you. And I wrote down here, um, coaching versus therapy, because there's definitely a time where, a psychotherapist or a therapist is definitely, necessary. And then there are these times in your life, and this is what I wrote down, where coaching highlighted reasons why you felt stuck. And I love this because sometimes we don't know, we don't, like, we can feel that something's, wrong, or something doesn't feel right, or we feel stuck, and we don't know how to move through that. And maybe we don't think that we don't need therapy. There's nothing really per se, I'm not going through depression, or I'm not going through divorce, or I'm not going through a reason why people think that they would necessarily need a therapist, but they just need a little bit of guidance. And I love that you said this. You highlighted reasons where you felt stuck. And I think that something I would love for you to expand on is how coaching is about the individual finding their own way through, not you guiding them, not you telling them what they should be doing, kind of a thing.
Yes, thank you. It's a perfect question. And sometimes coaching is defined as a consulting to people to help them, whatever. But actually, coaching is not consulting, but it's just the simplest word sometimes to explain it. But there is a big difference between coaching and consulting, because consulting is like uh, going to the doctor, you will get consulting, because doctor will put a diagnosis and make a prescription what you need to do. But coaching is not, I'm not diagnosing my client if it's good or bad, if it's enough or not enough, if he or she capable or not capable. I'm not, and I'm not prescribing anything. Just with my questions, I'm just helping person to look at their situation, just maybe from a new angle, maybe wider, maybe from another perspective, maybe like from this higher level of the situation, I would say. But just I'm not explaining them their situation, but I'm just asking them questions so they would look by themselves at their situation and give their answers to my questions.
Yeah.
So, and this way, person unveils he or she, hers, her truth, their own truth about their situations. And it's much more valuable because, like in psychology, there is like such a word, such a term as overlapping. And it's very unecological. This situation when somebody says, "Oh, I divorced recently, and now like something is happening," and somebody, "Oh, I divorced as well. You should do this." And I had the same situation, and like there goes like a list of advices. But there are never two same situations. There are no two same people, and so there are no two same experiences, and there are no two same situations. So whenever we give advices, sometimes definitely they work, but sometimes we need to be very wise about giving advices, because sometimes they will not work, and sometimes they can be destructive for another people. So, and in this way, coaching is a very ecological approach, because I'm not giving advices, I'm just helping people to view their situation from another perspective. And also, I'm not telling people what they should do with their situation. I'm
Mhm.
asking them what they want to do with their situation. So they have a plan to do list or plan what they gonna do, but it's not me giving them that plan. It's I'm asking what they would do, and they create this plan for themselves.
Yeah.
So we are working in the realm of another person. It's not my realm that I put over my clients, but I help these clients to create and unveil their own realm, what they want. And first of all, what they want. It's not me telling them what they should want, it's them understanding what they want.
Yes. Thank you for that explanation. I think that that's really important because a lot of people think like, "Oh, she doesn't know me. How can somebody, tell me what I need to do?" And it's like, well, that's not what it's about. That's not the feeling of being empowered. I mean, if you're empowered, you're not getting empowered because someone told you what to do in order to be empowered. You're feeling empowered because you took it upon yourself to pull away the curtains and to kind of like unveil the things that were like holding you back and being able to step into the power that you already have. And I think that that is
Absolutely.
a huge beautiful point that you're sharing with us, of course, here and then also in your course. um so I'd love to get into the topic of like the importance of self-love and self-compassion. I know that we can say that, and like, of course it's self-love and self-compassion is, an important aspect of life. But can we kind of dive in a little bit more of like, why is it so hard to have? And why is it so hard to get back once we lose it? So maybe we can start with, yeah, how do we fall out of self love and self compassion? Because it's not that we're innately born to hate ourselves or to dislike where we are. So how does it happen that we fall out of this?
Yeah, it's actually a good question, I think. And there are a lot of answers to this, and there are, like, I would say, not answers, but there are a lot of scenarios how it may happen. And also, before this, I would even start with a scale of self-love. So there are people who, like, if we say that zero is a total, I would say even self-hate, when a person don't love oneself at all. And actually, like, if a person does not love, probably this person hates oneself. Yes, because like the opposite to love is hate, and like neutral is somewhere in between all this. So, and each person is somewhere on this scale, from like total self-hate and to absolute self-love. And there are people who are in a very, very different positions of this. And how did they came to these positions? It's always some unique story. How did it happen? And definitely, first of all, what forms us is how we were raised, and people and communication and energies that surrounded us from the, not even from the birth moment, but even before. It's proven that, like, even being pregnant, while pregnancy, we understand like the main vibes, what's going on about this. And it's not something new that I told you. Definitely everybody, I think, understand that. And but what is more important, that sometimes, like, this trauma of abandoned, like when the person, like small child, can feel that he or she is abandoned, and it can traumatize the rest of the whole life for this person. But what we, maybe not all of us know, that sometimes traumas like this can happen from a really very traumatic experience, when a child was abandoned, or even like given away or whatever. So this child didn't ever have parents. But sometimes this trauma can happen when, like, a mother went just in a supermarket to the next row, and this child was so scared just in 1 second that this child felt abandoned. And this trauma, like I don't know, 1 minute, can as well influence till the rest of the life. Or like some big dog can bark, and it may happen once a life. Until the end of the life, a person can be scared of dogs. So sometimes a very, like, kind of short things can cause a really big traumas. And so, coming to self-love and self-esteem and all of these things we're talking about at the course, so I'm like unveiling and make it wider. But I would say that self-love is a very big term, like an umbrella term, that includes self esteem, self confidence, self trust, self support, and a lot of different things. And it can be yours, like some nuances as well, which are important for you particularly. So sometimes what ruins our self love, let's say it wide, can be something that happens to us in a childhood or our teenage years, like on a consistent basis. Or sometimes it can be one situation, but which was very impactful because of some emotion connection, because it was some very important situation to us, or it was done by some very important person to us. And sometimes it can be even like, sometimes it can be words, sometimes it can be even some gesture, or like facial expression, something like, or even this vibe that, like, ruined everything to us.
Mhm.
So sometimes it can be some very tiny, and sometimes we don't even remember what it was.
Mhm.
And so there are so many things that can be destructive and can distort this our self-love. So on one hand, love is a very, very, very powerful emotion, and on another hand, it can be very fragile in some moments, especially
Mhm.
when we are like kids or teenagers. And like, our society sometimes can be not perfect, let's name it so.
Yeah.
And
I was gonna mention that as well, as the societal, or even maybe it's just a generational thing, but growing up, I would never allow myself, and I'm just using myself as an example because that's all I've got. So I would never allow myself to be like, wow, I look so good today. Because if you say that out loud, people would say, you're so conceited, you're so full of yourself, or you're so you were almost like shamed for appreciating just your outside self, let alone like, I'm smart, I'm talented, or what. Like, you would never kind of be allowed to say that, to say it, because you would be judged. And so I think or at least from my generation, just almost like suppressing this appreciation that you have for
yeah.
yourself, for your let alone your physical aspects, but of your emotional, all of that. You just kind of like, no, we're not supposed to be, we're always supposed to be striving for more, we're never supposed to be happy with ourselves while we're doing that, right? It's almost like we have to always, we're never good enough kind of a thing because you're always
Yeah,
trying to be better. And it's like you can strive to be better while still honoring who you are and loving the space that you're in and loving yourself. I think that's probably like from my perspective, that's what I feel is I and maybe it's just in the US. I mean, I think it's kind of everywhere, but we're just kind of
no, no.
ingrained like
I can
yeah,
say that living in Ukraine, like I was born in a Soviet Union, yes, so I'm like 79, but the Soviet Union fell apart in 91. So like till my 12 years, I was living in the Soviet Union, and anyway, my parents are like grown up in the Soviet Union. And what I want to say that now when all this psychotherapy coaching and all these practices and courses appeared, so very often people they do like relate to, so it's our problem because we are from the Soviet Union. But actually no, because I travel a lot and I listen a lot of to American courses and so on, so it's like worldwide.
yeah.
And to me as a post and like my surrounding like a post-Soviet Union people, like United States considered to be the place where people should feel the most free, the most confident, the most like self-empowered, I would say. But and probably they are more than people who were growing up in the Soviet Union or like kind of this communistic countries. But still it's not, regime doesn't help, but it's more about humans nature, I would say, that about a regime. So
Yeah, that's such a good point. Absolutely. Oh my goodness,
yes.
such
And
good, like
what
I'm
I
writing all
wanted,
of these things down. So many good points.
we will have a record of the live so we can rewatch. But what I wanted to like to reflect about what you said, I love it so much that just keep it there. Don't stand out. Don't claim for something bigger. And actually I also I had this a lot, but recently, like before this new year celebration, there were some new year like cooperatives and parties and so on, and to some of them I went to, they were not dancing ones, so it was like some women communities, business communities, so I was attending these events as a coach, but they were like pre-new year, so the dress code was very like festive, I would say. So to some of these events I went in my crowns from the dance area, but
Ooh.
not the biggest ones, like, but small, but there were still crowns, and I was like, oh, you're in a crown, it's so beautiful. And also on one hand we always, the world is dual, so we always can get like, what does she think about herself that she came like to event in a crown? Do you consider yourself a queen? Who do you think you are? How dare you? Yeah, so always be people like this. But on another hand, there always will be people who will be like, oh my God, it's so wonderful. You came in a crown. So, and these are people who are longing for kind of permission, to have this permission. So, oh my God, she came to event in a crown, so I can do this too. So they are searching for this validation, like that it is appropriate to came to event in a crown. Also, it was not meant in a dress code. Please came in a crown to a party. So yes, and definitely, but probably these people who are not happy with me in the crowd on the events, they are more hidden, like they feel it's not that safe to come to me with this hate, so I didn't get any hate. But probably there were people who were thinking that, oh, who she thinks she is. But I had so much like this, how to say that, how you name it, like,
Like
wow, it's so
inspiration.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's I'm so happy with this, not because of me, but like I feel flattered, definitely, but I was happy with this because I felt like these women who were fascinated by me in the crown, they like kind of got their piece of permission to allow themselves to claim their space, to
Mm.
claim their attention, to go wide, to allow themselves to do what they want, to come in a crown to event or whatever. So this is what I was happy with. So when we do like this, when we do these steps, and when we go out and claim our attention and space, we show example to other people, to other women, so they can do this too. So, and this also like, when I see it as my mission, first of all, I like to wear crowns. So to be honest, like I think it's a perfect outfit for whatever. But I have mission in this. But I'm on a mission. I'm a queen on a mission.
Queen on a mission, absolutely.
Yeah, this was my this moment channeling queen on a mission.
I'm a queen on a mission. Let's put that in a quote. That's right. So
Yeah,
I
and
it was great.
one more, and actually one more very
Yeah.
important thing I wanted to say, because we had this comment in a post under announcement of this podcast. So it was a quote that I can't remember the name right now. So she was writing that yes, it's a struggle to go out and to feel enough and to feel good and to feel confident in dancing. And what I want, and this will work in the course, like we have particular practices and techniques how you go through this step by step. But the main idea I want to bring at this live right now is that feeling confident and being a professional is two different areas.
Mm.
We got used to like squeeze them together. So for us, like feeling confident is absolutely equal to be professional and even like being perfect. So we are mostly raised this way, that to be confident in what you do and to be happy with yourself, you need to be you need to become a professional, you need to become a strong expert, you need to become perfect.
Mm.
Actually better definitely to be perfect, nothing less. And then you can be confident, and then you can be happy with yourself and satisfied with yourself. But actually we can divide these things apart. First of all, because I know so many people, so many dancers, so many experts in different areas who are cool professionals. And it is proven, sometimes it is like internationally proven, but they still don't feel confident and they still don't feel happy with themselves. We all are to some extent, because we are people, and I'm also at the on this way. But as well, I did work which helped me so much to release this tension. And
Mm.
like the first idea is to separate these 2 points. So being an expert and feeling confident and happy with oneself are two different points and two different areas and two different skills. Uh, just a short disclaimer, so don't get me wrong. Definitely, we need to raise our experience, our professionalism, our uh, expertise. Definitely, it is a point to grow, but still, on any like stairs in my professional level I am right now, I can be self-confident for this level. I
Yeah.
can be happy with myself for this level. I I I I should be aware about where I am especially if I am a surgeon, for instance, I'm doing surgeries, yes, on
Yeah.
live people. Definitely, I need to be aware about my level of competence. But I can be happy with myself for this level, and I should not, if I'm like starting or I'm a little bit advanced or more advanced, I shouldn't be comparing like my self confidence to that level where I want to be, where I'm perfect, which is actually as well like a good road to hell, because there is nothing perfect in this world. And we're talking about this in the course as well. So
Mm.
like if you got one idea from all this podcast right now, please take this. You can be self confident even when you are starting your way. Definitely. Hard skills like your expertise, your experience, your knowledge, your technique, and so on, definitely they help. Definitely they help. The more knowledge, expertise, experience we have, the more confident we can start to feel. But at the same time, we can have it all, but still don't feel self confident. So these are like two roads that you should work on. You should work on your expertise and hard skills, and you should work on your inner perception of yourself. That,
Yeah.
and the main like mantra I can give you right now for this is that I'm good enough right now.
Mm.
I'm enough. Like the shortest mantra you can get, like I'm enough. Whenever and whoever I am right now, I am enough. And this is about unconditional love. And one of the most often phrases I hear, like coming especially to self love, to self support, that, oh, my parents, they were not loving me unconditionally. They were always demanding something from me, something more, and so on. Or my partner doesn't love me unconditionally, or like, I don't know, my subscribers doesn't love me unconditionally. This is more rare. But but do we love ourselves unconditionally?
Mm.
So why should we demand from other people something that we are not capable to do to ourselves? So this is what we should do first, to study to love ourselves unconditionally. This is actually the easiest way to say, but one of the hardest way to do. But this is very important, that I'm enough.
Yeah.
I'm
Gosh,
enough.
Teresa, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. Just you repeating that and me just like bringing that in and just really being present with that is just like, wow, it just, and I mean, so I made a note here because when you said the first time you said it, I almost had this like little internal thing that was like, oh no, I can't say that. You know what I mean? Like this, like, oh, but I'm not, but it's not true. And what I wrote down
How
was,
can I
who am I to think, and so what I
to be
wrote down
enough?
was, when I said confidence does not come from perfection. Like, I just want to recap some of these things that you said because I'm just like, whoa, did everybody get that? Confidence does not come from perfection. If we continuously think that when I get to a certain place, I'll be happy, when I do a certain thing, I'll be confident, whether it's in life or whether it's in dance, then you're always looking and striving for, you're never gonna, I'm gonna tell y'all, you're never going to be, I mean, if you are, great, but you're never going to be completely satisfied with where you are. Not if you're the kind of person that's like motivated go-getter. I mean, I climbed that corporate ladder thinking like the next promotion, I'm going to be happy. The next raise, I'm going to be happy. The next this, the next that. And then no, I got all the way here and I was like, where's the happiness? I was thinking for the last 20 years, where's the happiness? Or, oh, when I nail floor work, I'm going to be the best dancer. Or if I could just do this, then I know I'll feel more confident. And it never happens. And so I think what I've realized, thanks to you, is that all of that time that it took to keep thinking, I'm going to be better, I'm going to be happy, I'm going to be confident, just one more thing, I've put my brain, I put my mind in the habit of not being good enough,
Yes. Yes.
instead of
That's true.
instead of in the habit of being happy while striving for something new or something more or something different.
Absolutely. And I love that you touched this point of creating a habit of being somebody or creating a habit of thinking some particular way, because not everybody understands it this way. But what I want to share is that very important to get this point, that our habits are not only if we drink or if we smoke or not, or what we eat or if we run, but uh, our inner feelings, how we see ourselves, what we think about ourselves, our emotions about ourselves are habits as well. So we get some habitual things, thoughts, some habitual behaviors, some habitual emotions and beliefs about ourselves, what I'm capable of, what I'm not capable of, what I deserve, what I don't deserve, if I'm good or if I'm bad. And so we got like in any habit, we got stuck to this habit. And as well, this thought that I will be happy when, and blank. Yes, I will be happy when, or I will be happy if blank. So it's also like a kind of a habit, not to be happy, but to think that I will be happy when. And this when is a kind of a horizon line which you can never achieve. And actually, this when is any in any case is a kind of a horizon line. But if this when is perfect, this is like a total failure from the very beginning.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I learned that I mean, recovering perfectionist right here. So, yes, I gave up on that but it took a lot of life lessons to come to that. And this is so
Guys,
powerful.
please put our us, yeah, I don't know, pluses in the comments if you can relate to what we're talking about
Yeah.
this postponed happiness. Actually, it also has like a scientific kind of name. It is a postponed happiness. So I'm not
Postponed.
happy right now because yes, I'm not. So it's under term or under condition. Yes, so I will be happy when or if. So I'm not good enough yet. I'm not enough yet. I'm not good enough yet to be happy right now. I will be happy when.
Mm,
So, and all, if a person lives in this kind of mindset, actually, it is a time, and again, it's a habit to live in this particular type of a mindset. So, and no matter what this condition is, so person just it it takes it takes an effort and inner work to shift this mindset to that I can be happy right now. Oh my God, why not? Because if a person is habitual to this mindset that I will be happy when or if, there always be some whens or ifs. So it's
yeah.
just a type of thinking. And this it's not a goals that should be achieved or conditions to be fulfilled. It's a type of thinking that should be shifted. It's actually what we were talking about. It's a type of identity that need to be built, a new identity. Who knows how it feels, and how what this identity should do to be happy now.
Yeah.
And also, there is a wrong belief. You were mentioning it already today, that if I think that I'm good enough, that oh my God, yeah. oh my dear, I will stop developing. So
Mm.
if right now I think that I'm not good enough, then why should I like evolve further? But actually it's not true, because can you imagine, like, you definitely, all of us had this some time in our lives when I felt like, oh my god, I'm so cool, I'm so perfect, I did it so great, I'm so happy with myself. So if you can remember such a moment from your life, the first thing you will remember further is that you wanted to do more of this.
Yes. Yeah.
If you did
Great
something
point.
and you did it great, so why wouldn't you want to do more of this to be even more happy? And actually, this is a secret why it works like this, that I'm explaining very particular in the course. So how it is based on our hormone system. So this is actually physically based and
Mm.
scientifically proven.
Yeah. That's such a good point. And tying that into dance, like if we are always, after we perform, beating ourselves up over the one thing that we didn't do or the cue that we didn't get or whatever, then we're training our minds that performance equals failure or performance equals
Yes.
unhappiness. But if
And I
instead,
don't want to do this,
and
and
you
I
don't
don't
want to
want to
do it,
do
or
it.
you're afraid,
It's
or
a
every time you get
stress.
on stage, you get nervous or stressed out. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes,
But if we got off stage and we were like, we rocked it. Doesn't matter if we missed a cue. It doesn't matter. It's improv. We did so good. This was so much fun. Then you want to do it again.
definitely, definitely. And that is why I can revert a little bit to my previous course about staging projects and like building a team. So to me, always but actually I first got to this in a working with my group, and only then I could apply it to myself. So when working with the group, my first priority was not a perfect dance ever, from long before coaching, even when I just started my own group, like to them I never ever demanded and never ever was talking about any perfect performance at all. For me, the only priority was that they would feel happy with themselves. So no matter what we dance. So, and to me, it works the best way, because like if you demand from people, but like this, I will interrupt myself. This why coaching works, because sometimes we understand it for other people, but we can't get it how to apply it to ourselves, or we don't see this point in ourselves. But it was so obvious to me that when you demand from other people that we should do the perfect performance, no one of you should make any mistakes, please learn perfectly the whole dance, this is extremely important, that it would be like a perfect performance in the universe. So what you will get by the end, you will get a stressed out people who will make tons of mistakes, because they will
Mm.
like dance in this kind of mood and condition, and they will make the all possible stupid mistakes on earth. So like it doesn't work, it doesn't help, and it
Yeah.
doesn't definitely bring any happiness. And the same when we are talking about ourselves, why it should work, if it works this way with other people, why should it work the other way towards ourself and our inner world?
Yeah.
So
Such a
this is
great point.
absolutely,
And I'd
yeah.
love to come back to what you were saying earlier. So you were talking about what holds us back, and you were talking about identity, like how we identify as one thing, and then it's hard to break that kind of that shell or that concept of feeling like we could actually, we don't have to identify as this. We could be more free to kind of experience a different identity. Can we talk about identity for a few moments?
Yes, definitely, because actually it's actually identity is the most important topic and category for any kind of changes and for any kind of whatever you want to implement in your life or get rid of. So identity is the most important topic. If you want to dive into it, first book I would definitely recommend you is Atomic Habits by James Clear. So he like, from maybe from the title of a book you wouldn't recognize that he would say about identity, but this is the point where he leads to, because like, now I will revert to Robert Dilts and his pyramid of neurological levels. And on the first level is a surrounding, the second level is a habitual behavior, then comes our experience and things that we can do very well, and then comes our beliefs about ourselves, then comes our values, then comes our identity, and then on top of this all comes our mission or our vision. So like, and definitely like surrounding is the most like even unconscious level, our surrounding and our habitual behavior, like the levels which are habitual, and sometimes we don't even like very conscious about them, so it's like happening to us, kind of this. And definitely our mission, even if it's not conscious for us and not recognized, but still we all have it. But mission and identity are the toppest levels, which defines the whole other system. They defines our point of view and our self-perception. They defines our beliefs about ourselves. It defines our experience, and the things that we can do defines our habitual behavior and our surrounding. So, and actually to improve whatever from the level where it is, so just like if I, for instance, eat bad, yes, and feel bad because of this, like to improve it just on the level of eating, you can do this, but it takes much more time and much more struggle, and sometimes it can be inconsistent. So that is why people who try to lose weight, they sometimes do this, but then they get this weight again, because they try to improve it on this level just of behavior. But if I build an identity of a person who takes care about oneself, so I'm not just a person who eats bad but tries to eat good, but I'm a person who takes care about oneself. So I'm a person and I'm taking care about myself. Then probably I will make more wise choices about my food and my self routine and my workouts and so on. And this is more, on one hand, more easy way and more fast way, but on another hand it demands some inner work, not just a work of buying a particular food, yes, and arranging my meals, but it takes our inner work, but it's much more rewardable, because
Mm-hmm.
actually we just you when you are a person who identifies oneself as a eating bad but striving to eat good, you will also always have this like battle between these identities and gap in between, and it won't last long. And anyway, it will always be a struggle between this like bad eating identity and you trying to eat good, yes, or not self-loving identity and you trying to love yourself. So what we need to do is to shift our identity, and for this we will do actually an exercise by the end of our life. Yeah, but first of all, you need to recognize your identities and actually got this idea that identity is very important. And also for shifting identity was what is very important to do, like to build new identity, like, so this new identity would appear. To create it, there are always some points that we need to get rid of.
Mm.
That we need to let die. I would even say this dramatically, and sometimes it really feels this way. For instance, if like person likes to eat some food or like wants to get rid of an alcohol, it can be painful to get rid of this because it can associate with the happiness, with all this celebration, happy moments, and so on and on. So and it can be painful to get rid of some moments or even like part of identities, because we got used to this. We think that this is me, this is who I am.
Mm.
So if I let it go, then I will not be me anymore. So what could it be? And sometimes when I communicate with people who had like pretty hard inner emotions about self regret or feeling not good enough or like mm, not worthy, I would say, very often they refer to their childhood, that, oh, I was treated in a bad way. My mother was always tell me this, and my father was always tell me that. And like I'm saying that you can just try to let go of all these stories. You're not that person anymore. Just try to let it go. Definitely, it's not that easy to do, but at least you can give a space for this idea that I want to let go that personality,
Mm.
that person left in the past. But very often, what I hear in as an answer is that I can't let it go. It's my childhood. So, and person gets so stuck to these painful stories. Also, like you either want to try to be like cured and shiny and happy, but these stories which are vibrating with the pain and low self-esteem, they can't be aligned with this shiny and happy and bright and self-confident identity. So
Mm.
you need to let go these painful stories. But sometimes people have, they are so much identifying themselves with these wounds that they think that if they let them go, they will lose themselves. And
Yeah.
actually, now I'm reading a book by Bessel van der Kolk, and it is called The Body Keeps the Score. And
Love that book.
yeah,
It's you're actually the second person this weekend that told me that they're reading that book. I'm like looking, it's right here on my bookshelf. It's such a good one.
yes, yes. And actually, like for those who don't know this book yet, very like short introduction that he's a psychotherapist who was working with the veterans from Vietnam War, and also he was working with some veterans from World War II as well, and that was the point. He recognized that. These veterans, they had a very hard stories of what was happened with their comrades, or some stories that they did, some actions they were did in some bad emotions, hard emotions that they were regretting about, but they couldn't let it go because they were like so much identifying themselves with those stories. So they just couldn't couldn't let go this pain, and they were like continuing to carry these wounds and these pains on purpose.
Mm.
So also they were making their lives a total hell. And sometimes it's not that much dramatic, but actually this self victimizing is really happens. So, what we need to do is to recognize in which identity we are right now, and to understand that we are not doomed to continue to be who we are right now. We have our freedom of choice to create our new identity.
Mm.
it's it definitely demands time and effort, and it definitely uncomfortable, but it's only for you to choose what to choose what you choose, what you want to be, who you want to be, and what life you want to live. And you can do it. For some people it's harder, for some people it's easier. It definitely depends on our life experience and our inner properties, but it is possible for
And I think
sure.
that's so important. I mean, I also want to just put a little disclaimer in here that there are some of those issues where, a psychotherapist or therapy or group
Definitely.
therapy or something would be really helpful to help you move past, move through, to help you incorporate
Absolutely.
even these things that are a part of you into your new identity. So definitely we're not that's definitely an important point to make. But what you were talking about identity is so I think this nails it. And that's why I was like, let's talk about identity because I do see people kind of like I almost like identifying with their struggles or their grief and I know you can't know everybody on social media, but just in general, let's just say somebody is
Mhm.
identifying with something that they're identifying themselves as this whole thing, right? And it doesn't, your
Yes.
identity can be very temporary. Like maybe this year, this is my identity, and next year, my identity is something else. It doesn't mean like all of a sudden I'm a different person. It just means that I've evolved or changed or grown or whatever into a different identity. And stop me if none of this resonates. But what I'm also hearing is like sometimes our identity or our chosen identity is keeping us stuck. So kind of going back to highlighting reasons you feel stuck. It's like, well, what are you identifying as? Are you identifying as somebody that, like you said, is not healthy but tries? Instead of saying I am somebody that is a healthy person, or I am working towards my health or whatever, but like visualizing, and I know you're going to get into this, but visualizing the identity that you do want to be, and being honest with yourself, because sometimes we identify as something and that has gotten us a lot of, let's say, attention. I mean, and I'm not saying that people are doing this on purpose, but they can have an identity and that identity has allowed them to find the compassion that they might need, to find a community that might have helped them heal or that can understand them, or helps them connect with other people that have gone through the same struggles or the same experience or the same trauma. So it's not to say to like let that identity go and just put a happy unicorn smiley sticker on it. It's not saying that
No
at all.
way.
It's saying like if you feel like you are stuck, understanding what your current identity is and if that's holding you back, like maybe it's now time to shift your identity or to begin kind of expanding your identity into something else that's more in line of where you are evolving or changing or growing, or the person that you're wanting to become, can be really really powerful. And I know we were having this conversation before our podcast. I just thought that was so important. And you made a really good point in that sometimes people don't realize that they've created this identity for themselves and they don't realize that they can change that identity for themselves.
Yes. Yes, definitely. Like talking about getting stuck in any identity or any situation or any sometimes like problem, it can be called whatever. So one of the points is that people maybe they already got somehow to this idea. Somebody told them, or maybe they got a glimpse of, or maybe I should get rid of this, but then like, oh, I can't get rid of this. All these wounds are so important to me. It is me who have all these wounds, and I will carry with me till the end of my life. And it is so precious experience. I just can't get rid of them. And so they are like, they are carrying it and they continue to like relive it, like
Mhm.
inside themselves. So they are going through the same hell each day. So they are like in these wounds again. So this is one of the variant. The other variant, yes, that person just never had this idea that it can be any other way. Like for instance, like if person lives in a, like, let's imagine that even nowadays there are still like tribes of aborigines, like this kind of very very old tribes where people are living in a, not tents, but I don't know, like ancient tribes. Even
Yeah.
nowadays, there are like in Australia, somewhere in the world, in the lost woods, there are people who don't know what internet is, so they don't listen to our podcast. And but if a child is born into this tribe till the very like big age, this child wouldn't think that any other type of life is possible actually.
Mm.
Yeah, so the same way, if we are raised in a very particular surrounding that implements particular thoughts and beliefs onto and expectations onto us, so some people couldn't even think that there can be any other way about thinking of themselves.
Mhm.
So and I have a lot of such experience. So for these people, even an idea about possibility of having another identity will already be very helpful, therapeutic, and big cure, even this idea, because anyway, it's the first step towards any changes.
Yeah.
So definitely it can be the other way around. So uh, if I want to start running, yes, and I will start running every day, in a while, eventually, probably, hopefully, I will see myself as a person who is running and loves running. But it will take a long consistency, and definitely it will take struggle to go to a morning run if now I see myself as a person who hates running.
Mhm.
And the same way, for instance, I refused from alcohol last summer, like last but one, like 2023. And it was like one moment decision. I decided to quit drinking. And I wouldn't say that I didn't ever since had an idea of having champagne, especially when something nice happens and so on. But I just made decision for myself that I don't drink. I just don't consume alcohol,
Mhm.
and that is all. And even if this idea came up to my mind that, oh, maybe we should have some champagne, but we don't drink. Why
Right.
should we? I'm not
Right.
drinking. Why should I drink alcohol if I'm not drinking alcohol? So like this habitual identity like sometimes popped up and like, let's drink champagne, like, but we are not drinking. So I see that I'm blinking it with a green again.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. If you'll jump off and come back, I'll check on the comments in the YouTube channel while you're
Yeah,
doing
okay.
that.
I will check out and check in. Just don't get away, guys. We will make a practice in a very short time.
So I just want to pop over to our YouTube comments and say hello to everyone, and thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you're finding this. We're almost ready to close out our podcast. We're going to end with a really powerful exercise that Taisa is going to share. And it's one of the exercises that she shares in her course, which we'll talk about also in just a moment. But I just want to thank everybody for joining us. And I see Samantha, Edie, Miyuki, Natty, Maria. Hello, hello, Pamela. It's so nice to have you all here. I hope that you're getting a lot out of this. And of course, feel free to ask any questions in the comments if you have them. And if you're joining us later, feel free to add any comments below. So, with that being said, Thaisa's back. So, Thaisa, so here we are at kind of at the end of the podcast. I want to share a little bit more about your course, which I'll do at the very end. But while we're on the subject of identity, and while we're here, I think it's a great opportunity to have your exercise that you've been
Yeah.
sharing with us, or you've been talking about, so that we can end with this feeling of of empowerment and self-love and compassion, and kind of have an understanding of like how to move forward with that. And I know that your video is blinking, but the sound quality is
Yeah.
still fine, so I think it's okay.
Yeah, let me try get out and in again. And if
Okay.
it didn't, we guys, very sorry for this green blinking. We don't know what happens actually. I will try to get out and in again. If it doesn't help, actually, in meditation we will have our eyes closed, so it will not be so destructive. Let me
Okay.
try to go out in one time.
All right, you gotta love technology, but hey, at least the live stream's working. We are alive, so that's I mean, all other issues aside, we do have that. All right, so I'm just gonna check back in. Oh, I love all the hearts. Yay. All right.
Right.
And I think we're back. So, we're about to go into a quick and very powerful meditation. And I know that for some people, the thought of meditation sounds really scary. And you're like, this is where I click end. But don't, don't leave, because this next part is really going to pull all of these things together. As I said, Taisa's new course has some of this and so much more than so I really find that I know that you're going to find that this is going to be a very powerful experience for you all. Samantha, I'm so glad that you're loving the podcast. You are very, very welcome. While we're waiting for Taisa to come back, let me just go ahead and tell you a little bit about her course. So her course is now live on FCBDU. It's self-love, self-empowerment, a coaching program. It's 4 courses, 4 series. So each week throughout the month, we'll be releasing the next course on here. Every class has lecture with Taisa, which of course there's subtitles and you can watch it at any speed. So if you need to slow it down a little bit and really take some notes, or you want to listen to it multiple times and you want to speed it up, that's available to you on FCBDU. But something that I'm really, really excited about is every week's course, every week's release builds on the previous week, and there is a workbook and worksheets. So again, it's not just Taisa telling you this is what you need to do to empower yourself or to feel self-love, because everybody's journey is different. But instead, what she's done is she's giving you the tools to find them on your own, to guide you through the process of highlighting the reasons why you may feel stuck or disempowered. That a word? Or not feeling the amount of self-love, or maybe not even knowing what that feels like. And she takes this and really guides you through the process of identifying that on your own. And that is what's really powerful, because you can come back to this time and time again. So there are certain journaling prompts that I personally use every year to kind of help me realign. Like, what does this year look like? And using Taisa's example, what is this year's identity going to be? It's not that I'm changing who I am. It's just that I'm changing what my goals are, or how I want to move through life. And so having those prompts every year kind of lets me reflect on the previous year and go forward. And I think it's really cool that we have this. Now we're going to have this course that maybe you make this your habit. Like every year you go through this understanding and almost like a resetting of like, where did I lose my self-love? Where did I lose my sense of confidence or my sense of empowerment? And so I really want to invite you all to take this course. It's included in your membership here on FCBDU. Or if you want to purchase it separately, I've got it priced currently at $149 as the introductory price. But again, you can get a membership for $25 on FCBDU, and you can get all of this information, all of the workbooks, all of the worksheets, and yeah, just living a more empowered, fulfilled, and self-love in your life. So with that being
Yeah.
said, Taisa, you're back. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still blinking in green, but I will not touch anything because before it actually pulled me out of everything. So please, sorry guys, I don't know why it is. So I'm first time doing it in Vimeo, and I will check it later. And thank you, Diana, for a beautiful presentation of the course. And I can also add that you will have during this course all my support in coaching topics. So about your inner states, inner emotions, inner thoughts. So I'm here for you, and I will be supporting you through this journey, because on one hand, I think it's the most beautiful journey we can make in our lives, this journey to our self-love and our self-loving and self-caring and self-supporting identities. And on another hand, as well, this journey sometimes and at some moments can be uncomfortable and can be even painful sometimes, because definitely sometimes get leaving behind and letting go these painful stories, also it gets us to a much more happy place. So the process can be not comfortable and even painful. So let's name the things as they are, because for instance, it's like a metaphor of a wound, of a real physical wound. Sometimes to cure the wound, you it hurts to cure the wound, because you need to make some procedures and some things that are like can be painful, but it's the best things you can do, and it can be not that much painful, so I don't want to scare you that much.
Well, but self-reflection, I mean, like pulling back the curtain on self-reflection and looking in can be scary because you're like, I don't know what I'm going to find there. And that's the reason why, I mean, I still like I struggle with meditation, and it's because it quiets my mind and makes me look in. And then of course I'm going to see things that I don't necessarily like. But the more that I think that I practice this concept of self-love and self-compassion and knowing that I'm working on myself, and I am a person that meditates, and I am a person that experiences self-love and self-compassion, that it'll just be a little less challenging for me. I just want to say before we get started that green happens to be the color associated with the heart chakra. I know we think about like
Yeah,
pink or
it's
rose
just our heart chakras are popping
quartz.
up. Yes,
It's a little blast of love every time.
yes, yes, absolutely, I love it, thank you so much. It's our green chakra saying, yes, I'm with you, I'm
Yes.
here. Yeah, that's perfect. And I wanted, what were you talking before this? I wanted to add something on that, but heart chakra took it away. Okay, it doesn't matter that much. So, yes, about meditation, what I wanted to add, what we can do right now, what each of us can do. And actually, this is an instrument EFT, and I'm talking about this in the course as well. But like one of the mantras you can take, the first mantra I gave you was like, I'm enough, I am enough right now. And at the same time, if saying to oneself, I'm enough right now, it doesn't feel possible to you right now, it's okay. Like it's not that much okay, but it's okay for you where you are. And if trying to say yourself that I am enough right now is not possible, then you can say yourself, so even when I don't feel I am enough right now, I absolutely and unconditionally and totally love, appreciate, and respect myself.
Mm.
So, and this mantra can be used to any circumstances. Even if I feel not self confident right now, I still absolutely, totally, and unconditionally love, appreciate, and respect myself. Because as well we are taught this way, maybe not told, but we were raised mostly in a conditions when if we are not good enough, if we are not successful enough, if we don't have particular grades, if we don't fit particular sizes or whatever, then we can't be loved, appreciated, and respected. So then we this our conditions, who we are, how much we earn, how do we look, they are absolutely associated for us with possibility to be loved, appreciated, and respected. But it's absolutely different things. Actually, we can be whoever, but we still have our right to be loved, appreciated, and respected. And so, this way, we give ourselves this permission. And this is like the main mantra you can apply onto you right now.
Excellent. Well, yeah,
Yes.
let's do it.
Let's go to
Let's
the
do it.
practice.
Yeah.
Let's
So
do
this will
this
take
practice.
maybe what, 5 minutes, I think, Taisa?
Yeah, I think it can be 5 to 7 minutes. So actually, sometimes I'm doing like in a personal work with clients. It can take even like 1 hour journey, like very wide with a lot of nuances and questions and reflections. But now we can do this like 5 to 7 minutes journey, and it will be definitely very useful. And for this you just sit in any way that is comfortable to you, and we will do it with your eyes closed, and don't just open them. I will guide you through the whole meditation till the very end, and I will tell you when to open your eyes. So right now just close your eyes and make a deep inhale and exhale. And you can do an exhale just with the sound like this, like a releasing sound. One more. Inhale and exhale. And take a moment to make an internal view to all your body and relax all your body, all the parts of it. Definitely, we can do it like a shavasana style, like part by part. But right now, just take a general look to your body from inside. And if you feel or see some parts where you see the tension, just with your loving and caring attention, release this tension and feel relaxed. And one more inhale and exhale. And right now, when you feel safe, relaxed, and comfortable right here, imagine yourself in some nearest future. It doesn't matter that much when, particularly, it can be in a month or in 2 months, in 3 months. And imagine yourself in any context that comes to you right now. Maybe it's the same sitting in your room, maybe in some cafe or restaurant or among the friends. And imagine how do you look like in this future, how you are dressed, what headdress you have, what accessories you have, whatever. And maybe this future you is absolutely the same with you right now. But some tiny details show you that this future you loves herself, takes care about herself, feels self confident, has a strong inner support. This future you really succeed in creating her unconditional inner love. This future you feels very wide, very relaxed. Maybe this future you looks totally the same as you right now, but now you, when observing your future you, see some tiny nuances, maybe in her posture, maybe in a way that she speaks or moves or writes, whatever you do, or looks around, or maybe it's just in some energy that shines from within her, some vibe that can't be explained, but these vibrations she spreads around, and this future you feels inside herself. And now, while you're observing her, you also approach to this future you who feels herself the best way, who feels herself the way you want to feel yourself when you feel self confident, relaxed, when you feel your total unconditional love to yourself. Approach this identity of you and just see how this future identity of you see you and smiles and comes to you and happy to see you. And now you can hug each other. And now when you said your greetings to each other, you, nowadays you, can ask your future you, kind of like, hello, I'm so happy to see you. How do you feel there when you feel yourself appreciated, loved, and you feel your value, when you feel yourself confident, when you feel your inner support? Ask your future you how she feels there and listen what she says. And then you can ask your future you what helped her to get there. What helped her the most to come to this place of inner love, inner appreciation, this total self confidence, and this total self respect, unconditional self respect, self love, self support, self appreciation? And listen to her answer. And when you got her answer, you can tell her your gratitude. Just thank your future you for the answers she gave you and for the all work she did to get to this wonderful place where you want to get. And now you can hug your future you again. Hug yourself. And while hugging, feel like you're kind of dissolving and you are merging with your future you, skin to skin, body to body, heart to heart, soul to soul. You are blending with this future you, this your identity, and you feel what she feels. You feel this total love, total appreciation, total self acceptance, total self care, total self respect. And you can now put your hands on your heart chakra, on your heart, and even more concentrate on this feeling of self love, self respect, total unconditional self acceptance, and self support. And imagine it in your body. Where do you feel this feeling? Where is it in your body? and how you feel it and how you see it in your body. I can share mine, but yours can be whatever. Whatever you see and feel is perfect for you. I see it as a ball of golden shining light in my heart chakra, in my heart, right under my palms. And now, when you see this area, connect even more to your feelings of self respect, self care, self support, self love right now. And tell yourself, I'm enough right now. I'm enough right now for everything. I'm capable of everything, and I deserve everything that I want. And now, when you feel in these thoughts and in these energies, go further and triple this feeling right now. And observe how this your feeling in the body changed. And right now, go ahead and make this feeling 10 times more big and 10 times more intense. And observe how now it looks like and feels like in your body. Maybe it is even bigger than your body. Maybe the whole your body become bigger. Just observe it and merge in these feelings and let yourself feel these feelings. Let yourself just be in these feelings. Appropriate these feelings. Just dive into them. Be these feelings. Allow yourself be this you, this identity who feel these awesome feelings of unconditional self-love, self-respect, self-acceptance, self-support. Allow yourself to have these feelings and to be this person. Be this person. Be this. And now again, thank yourself now for this work, this love, this attention, this time that you devote to yourself. Say this gratitude to yourself and feel this huge gratitude for everything that you do for yourself and for being this person. Deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale and exhale. Continue to be here, and we will make a couple more inhales and exhales. And on the inhale, feel like this, your inner feeling becomes even bigger, like a fire from the wind grows more. From your inhale, feel like this feeling grows even more and comes to each part of your body till the end of your nails, till the end of each your hair on the head. Inhale and exhale, releasing everything that is not aligned with your new identity. And we will do one more inhale letting this feeling, this energy, this inner shine to stretch far from beyond your body, far beyond your body, right in the universe. Inhale and exhale, releasing everything that doesn't serve you anymore. And right now, you can enjoy this inner feeling couple minutes more, that long as you want. And then, when you feel ready, concentrate all these wonderful feelings inside yourself, wrap them together in yourself, and know now that you have them in you. You have this inner identity of yourself with unconditional self love, self respect, self support, and self acceptance. And when you feel ready, slowly and gently get back to where you are right now, to where your body right now, and slowly and gently open your eyes. Ooh,
Oh, that was
okay.
intense and so powerful. Thank
Yes.
you so much for that.
Yes, you're welcome. And actually, this type of meditations, this technique is called meditation visualization. They are very important because it is the way that we teach our brain to get to the point where we want to get, because what we were discussing, that sometimes we can get so stuck in these circumstances, feelings, and habitual emotions which we don't like, that we don't even have any other perspective how it can be. And to create something new, we first need to make a plan of it, like a draft, what actually we want to, to have. And this practice actually creates a draft of our new identity. And when we create this draft and we teach ourselves to experience these feelings, this way, we build our way to our new identities where we want to get. And this is the way we teach ourselves actually to experience these feelings of self love, self support, and so on. Because, and the main point you can, I wonder if maybe ladies, if you share in chat, so who already did a practice like this, or did you do it for the very first time in your life? But anyway, I welcome you to your new identities. And actually, this is the way we build our way through. And you can repeat this practice as often and as many times as you want and as long as you want. And I actually revisit this my desirable identity every day a little bit, but because I do meditations every day, and part of it I'm doing just trying to absorb my thoughts and not to think about anything, like, and if thoughts are coming, just letting go. But part of this meditation, I'm revisiting this my identity to build it up and to empower this. So it's a very, very cool and strong technique. And the main point of this technique, not only imagining and like checking in the blanks, like I feel confident, I feel brave, I feel worthy, like it is important, but the main part is to raise this feeling, this inner feeling, as if you are already this identity. And
Mm.
I can tell you in advance that sometimes it can be really very easy to connect to these feelings and really experience them in your body. But sometimes it can be more hard to really experience this feeling. It's okay, because in everything in our life we have highs and lows, and it's okay. And in dance, in stretching, some days you feel like super stretchy and super, I don't know, like empowered, and some days it's like like I took out my yoga mat, and this was the best I could do for this day. So for meditations, for visualizations, for everything, it works the same. But the main part is consistency, and not consistency in very top results, but consistency in showing up for
Mm.
this future identity.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Thank
do
you
we
so
have any answers in the chat?
much.
I wonder
Thank you.
if
The chat's been
you're
the chat is quiet, and then I'll say something, and they're just like, they're absorbing, I think. So Samantha says, I love this podcast. Thank you. There's a little bit of a delay, so we'll see if anybody else chimes in.
and
And I know we
please and please, if you watch it in a like as a record, so also share in the comments or in like in direct. I will be very happy to know how it went for you, what were your insights from this podcast, and definitely looking forward to see you in the course, because there we will even dive deeper into this topic. Because actually this is the work that we do throughout all our life. It's not something that you just do and that then you're done. It's not possible. The same as with a stretch and workout. Yeah, so I'm totally self-loving, but if it works for you, okay, I will not like impose my vision on you. So if it works for you that you are totally self-loving, I'm really happy for you. So share your piece of advice with us then.
yes,
uh,
if you're already there, share it with us, right?
yeah,
No, that was
but
so powerful.
mostly it's the work that we need to do on a consistent basis, because like if I don't do this, I can have some lows when I get back. But now I have all the instruments that if I do is on a constant basis, I know that it works for sure.
Well, it's all about creating those new habits, like you were talking about, right? And James Clear talks about it in his Atomic Habits, which I highly recommend that book. So so far in this podcast, we've said Atomic Habits by James Clear, absolutely, and Body Keeps the Score.
Sylvander Kalk, but keeps
Yeah,
the score, yes.
those are definitely some really great books. Um, Taisa, I'm so happy that you put this course together for our community, and I'm really loving it. That visualization, I did it when I was listening, or when I took your class when we first got it early last year.
Yeah.
I've been holding on to this nugget of this course until like the perfect moment, which is now. But I had such a powerful visualization. I just wanted 30 seconds, and then we'll to share, and then we'll close out. Um, I found myself, so this whole past year I've been really focused on regaining my strength and my mobility from my breast cancer and my surgeries, and so I've been basically been at the gym every single day. So when you said, approach your future self, I approached my future self. They were, of course, at the gym, I guess, because I'm there every day. So they were like on a bench, like standing there. But my future self, and I know it's just for visualization, and I don't expect that, like, this is not like a real, this is what I'm really gonna look at. But I loved this, the representation of, like, I approached my future self, and my future self was like a foot taller, and like almost like this like strength, just like, I don't know, like so powerful and so like present, and it was just like, wow, my future self could be like this. Not that my future self is going to be taller, but just like this bigger entity. You know what I mean? Like, it was just this representation of like, wow, everything is just expanded. And then when you said, ask your future self, like, what did it take for them to get there? I can't remember the exact words because I was like totally in it. My future self said, presence, presence in everything that you do. And I kind of was thinking about like when I'm at the gym, I'm always like, I'm sitting there, I'm doing a tricep extension, right? And I'm already thinking about my next exercise, or I'm already thinking about the next time I hope I can go up on my weights. And I'm not actually being present with like experiencing my body moving in this way. Because for me, I'm always thinking about, I'm not going to be good enough until the next weight, the next
Yeah.
this, the next that. And so everything that you were talking about for this last 90 minutes, just like, wow, pulled together in this. I mean, I just shared a little bit of this really powerful experience that I had. But thank you. Thank you so much for that. So, my new identity for 2025 is somebody that is present in everything that they do so that they can enjoy every aspect of their life and not be living their life in the future, but actually like enjoying everything that I'm doing right now and appreciating it and loving it and feeling, yeah, more mindful of like myself.
Yeah, that sounds so cool. And I'm like you're saying it, and I'm feeling like I'm expanding so much because it really feels and hears so empowering. And what you are saying about like being taller, just a very short wrap for this. You can close, I invite everybody to close our eyes and feel inside your body how it feels to you when you say, I'm enough.
Yeah.
It is a huge expansion right now. I'm enough. We wouldn't say opposite because I just don't want to spoil it, but I think that if you would think for something different, you would feel tension and getting smaller. So when we're thinking about how powerful we are, how capable we are, that we are enough right now, we don't need to prove whatever, we don't need to deserve whatever, so we are good enough right now. It comes to a enormous expansion, like, and sometimes this expansion even comes to total dissolving of the body, like I'm as big as the whole universe and all possible universes. So because it's really a big expansion, so now you can enjoy this feeling, pull this together inside yourself, understand that you owe it from now, and gently come back when you're ready and open your eyes.
Okay.
And see blinking green chakra.
That's right. Heart chakra is just like blasting the internet right now.
Yes, yes. I'm here with you guys. It's so nice to hang out with you.
Just a couple of comments that we had.
Cool.
Edie says, I'm absorbing every word. And Samantha Jane says, I had to pause to write things down during the meditation as I had such clarity. I didn't want to lose it. Samantha, I totally felt the same, but I didn't want to break in case somebody was like still watching. I didn't want to break. And by like opening my eyes and writing things down, I wanted to like stay in it. So that's why I had to
Oh,
share right afterward. She says, so much
yes.
gratitude, excited about the course. Great. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. The first one is out and ready for you. Scarlett says, hello from Brazil. And she says, Dance, it is so important
Oh,
to learn to live in the present. So true, right? We tell ourselves
yes.
that. And it's almost like we turn it on and turn it back off. But if we can like identify with that and let it just be how we're moving through the world, it can be really powerful. So, Taisa, thank you so very much for this amazing podcast, for sharing all of your energy and your passion for helping people discover their self-love and their self-respect and their self-compassion. And this is something, as you said, we can come back to time and time again, because it's going to be this like wave of like, oh, I'm having a low, okay, I need something to help me boost up. And knowing that we have these tools and these resources, so much, so wonderful.
Yes, and remember that even when you can always say yourself, it's the most magical mantra ever. That even when it you can go even in a paradox way. So even when I don't feel uh, total and unconditional love, I still totally and unconditionally love, respect, and appreciate myself, you know?
Yes.
and
Yes.
and it's totally paradox, but it works. So even when I don't feel it, I still because sometimes we don't love ourselves, and then we beat ourselves that we don't love ourselves, on top of that. So, and it builds on one another, but you can build your strengths on one another is the same way. The only things that you need for that is just wanting to build your new powerful, supportive, loving identity, and just a little bit of awareness that when you start this habitual thoughts on beating yourself, not being happy with yourself, just at least saying, if you can't say at the moment that I'm totally loving myself, sometimes it's impossible to say this. And if you don't feel like this, don't say this, because if you completely, for instance, if somebody completely hates oneself, and then just because the exercise is like this, will start to say that I completely love myself, but the gap is too huge, and person just saying these words but just can't relate to this at all, it will not work. You should say something that you can really relate to and really feel it. Okay, if for the moment, for instance, somebody can't say I totally love and accept myself, or you can't say it this day particularly, or in this situation, for instance, so you can say yourself that I am a person, I'm building up in my total self-love and acceptance, and even when I can't feel it right now, I still can love and appreciate and respect myself. So you can find your way through this, even if some phrases are feeling too far.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I've made more notes, and I'm just like, I can't wait to sit here with my journal and
Yeah.
write all of this down. So yeah.
Cool.
Okay, well, everyone, thank you so much for listening in. Again, your comments would just be so great. And if you loved this podcast, share it. Tell everybody. It's out there on our YouTube channel. It'll be on Spotify by tomorrow. I'd love for you to share. If you don't necessarily have to share something that you felt or experienced, but I feel like this is something that, gosh, who couldn't use it, right? So
Yes, yes. You can share on Instagram, tag Fat Chance Belly Dance Style University, tag
yeah,
me. I'll be happy to share your shares. So please, yeah, you can tag my heart chakra as well.
the
Thank,
green is flashing. I know.
thank everybody. Thank everybody. Thank Diana. Thank Taisa, and thank you, heart chakra as well.
Yes. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. And stay tuned for the next episode. We have all of our episodes already planned for the year. I'm so freaking excited. And I'm thinking about also recording some of my blog posts that I've done, like today's blog post in the newsletter, and sharing that as a little podcast as well, so you can listen in the car. So yeah, so we're just
Cool.
expanding our podcast. So feel free to make sure that you're following, subscribing, all of the things. Thank you to our members. Without our members, we wouldn't be able to do these free resources for our community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you so much. And with that, Taisa, so much love. And I will talk to you soon, my dear. Thanks, everyone.
Yes. Thank you,
Bye.
everybody. Hugs, huge, huge hugs.